It took just 2 hours. Caitlin Clark was in third place, and then her fans flipped the entire vote and sent her straight to number 1. Twitter blew up, screenshots flew, the WNBA had never seen anything like this, and while fans were celebrating, Angel Reese was fuming. Cryptic posts, shady comments, subtle digs. The message was loud and clear. She's had enough. But this isn't just petty beef, it's a battle for power, for attention, for the future of women's basketball, and it's heating up fast. Let's break it all down right here in this video. So here's the tea. The Indiana Fever's digital team was up for some Webby Awards. One nomination was for Best Use of Video featuring Caitlin Clark's rookie season. No big deal, right? Wrong. Pat Boylan, the Fever's play-by-play announcer, posted on social media about the nomination. At that moment, Clark's entry was sitting in third place with only 28% of the vote. The leader had 30%. Clark wasn't even in second place. Based on how these online competitions usually go, she was basically out of the running. But then, something wild happened. Fever fans spotted Boylan's post and went absolutely feral. Within just 2 hours, not days, not weeks, 2 hours, the entire competition flipped upside down. Clark's nomination shot from third place to first as fans rushed to the polls like their lives depended on it. Social media blew up. People were refreshing their screens every minute, watching the percentages change in real time. Comments were popping off. Is this even possible? And I've never seen anything like this before. The speed was unreal. The surge happened so fast that it broke all the normal patterns of online voting competitions. Fever fans completely transformed the outcome in a time window that marketing experts would call impossible. This wasn't just a few dedicated fans, this was a massive coordinated effort from thousands of people across different states and demographics, all rallying within hours to support Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and Angel Reese saw every single bit of it go down. Let's talk about Angel. While Clark fans were celebrating their victory, Angel was sending subtle shots on social media. A cryptic emoji there, a passive-aggressive comment there. She didn't say it directly, but her message was crystal clear. She's tired of constantly having the spotlight ripped away. Remember, Angel Reese came into this league with serious momentum. She had personality, media attention, and was the talk of the women's game. She was the moment, and suddenly, Caitlin Clark walks in and flips the whole system upside down. Media attention, gone. Brand deals, gonzo. Headlines, over. All redirected toward Clark. But this isn't just about jealousy, it's about power. The fans have made it known. Caitlin is their star, and in a league that's never seen fan engagement like this before, that matters, that changes everything. Angel has worked incredibly hard to build her brand and make a name for herself, and now she's watching someone else come in and get more love, more attention, and more power from fans in just a few months than most WNBA players get in their entire careers. That's gotta stink, and it's not hard to see why Angel's frustrated. The rules of the game just changed. It's no longer just about how you play on the court, it's about how many people you can get to click a button for you online. That's a whole different ballgame. The Webby Awards vote was just the first warning shot, but now analysts are bracing for something much bigger: all-star voting. If Clark's fans could do this on an online awards poll, what happens when the all-star ballots open up? There's a real chance Caitlin Clark becomes the #1 vote getter as a rookie. That's never happened before. Not in the WNBA, not in the NBA, not even in fan bases known for their loyalty. The pace, the volume, the intensity, it's completely unmatched, and here's where it gets even wilder. It doesn't stop with Clark. Insiders are predicting that the entire Indiana Fever starting lineup might sneak into the all-star roster fueled entirely by fan support. Kate Martin in the top 10? Come on, don't laugh. It could be possible. Sources say Fever fans are planning to mobilize to support their entire team, not just Clark. We could see multiple Fever players receiving all-star recognition based purely on this fan movement strength, and that's exactly what has players like Angel Reese fuming. Because performance isn't the only metric anymore. Popularity now has the power to outshine everything else, and if you're not the favorite, you might as well be invisible. This isn't normal. This is something completely new in women's basketball. No player has ever moved the needle like this before. There have been great WNBA players in the past, but never a phenomenon like this. This isn't just about voting. The Fever fan base is rewriting what fandom even means in the WNBA. When Erica Wheeler launched her charity drive, she expected to raise $10,000. That's normal and respectable in WNBA circles. But what happened left everyone completely speechless. $75,000 in less than a week. Donations came flooding in from Seattle, from New York, from fans who have never even been to Indiana. What began as a goal to raise $10,000 for inner-city youth programs ended with over $75,000 in donations and 3 times the expected volunteer turnout. This wasn't a fundraiser, it became a national movement. Fans didn't just donate money, they showed up physically, they volunteered, they mobilized like a political campaign. One donor from Seattle wrote, "I've never been to Indianapolis, but the Fever community inspired me to be a part of something bigger than basketball." And that's terrifying if you're a player who isn't on their radar, because that level of support translates into everything. Jersey sales, ticket demand, social media growth, endorsements, and media coverage. And none of it is coming your way unless you're in the Clark spotlight. Every charitable program connected to the Fever is experiencing this unprecedented level of support. Player foundations that typically struggled now see donation numbers that would impress established NBA charities. Now the big question becomes, how long can this last? Critics keep saying this is just a phase, that the hype will fade, that the novelty of Caitlin Clark will wear off, and that the league will go back to normal. But here's the reality, amigos, it's not fading. Every single metric is still climbing, engagement is climbing, ratings are climbing, charitable contributions are growing. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, every platform is exploding with Clark content, and this isn't even happening during the finals or the big games. It's happening in the off-season. During the dead months when interest is supposed to be at its lowest, Caitlin Clark's fans are keeping the sport alive during a time when most leagues experience their lowest engagement. That's mad impressive. The dismissive takes from some commentators just don't match reality. They say it's just temporary excitement, just wait until the novelty wears off, but the engagement metrics tell a completely different story. Instead of the typical spike and drop pattern that comes with momentary sports excitement, analysts are tracking sustained growth across every measurable metric. Social media engagement, charitable contributions, and community participation aren't waning, they're continuing to climb week after week, building momentum rather than losing it. You just can't ignore these numbers. This is not a spike, it's not a viral moment, it's sustained growth, and no one, not even the most optimistic WNBA executives, saw this coming. They hoped for it, they dreamed about it, but no one expected it to happen. Not like this, not this fast. The comparisons to Taylor Swift's fans aren't just random references anymore, they're strategic indicators of something bigger happening here. When Swifties mobilize, stadiums sell out in minutes. When Clark Nation mobilizes, entire leagues shift. This is the basketball equivalent of the Swifties for real. When Clark appeared in a commercial last month, Clark Nation trended within hours as fans shared clips, created memes, and drove engagement numbers that rivaled major NBA announcements. Just like when Swifties coordinate concert ticket purchases, Fever fans demonstrate that same determination. The moment there's an opportunity to support Clark or the Fever, social media explodes with fans alerting each other and organizing support all within minutes, not days. Remember when Andrew Wiggins got voted to the NBA All-Star Game because of K-pop fans? Well, this is like that, but way bigger. Because it's not just one player getting a boost, it's an entire franchise getting elevated. The Indiana Fever went from being just another team on the schedule to the most talked about team in women's sports, all because one player entered the chat. The coordination is remarkable. This level of fan organization is changing how people engage with women's sports more broadly. What the Fever fans are demonstrating is something critics have dismissed for decades, that women's basketball can generate passionate fan engagement equal to any major sport. Players are watching, coaches are watching, executives are watching, and most importantly, advertisers are watching. They don't care if the votes are fair. They just care that the numbers are high, and Caitlin Clark brings numbers, period. So if you're Angel Reese, you have every reason to be heated because the system just changed and you're playing catch-up in a game you thought you were leading. But here's the real plot twist. This might be the best thing that's ever happened to the WNBA because rivalry sells, tension sells, and when Angel Reese claps back, that's fuel, that's heat, that's viral content waiting to happen. The game isn't just being played on the court anymore, it's being played online in polls, in fan groups, in comment sections. Other WNBA franchises are studying the Fever fan base, recognizing that these strategies for community building and fan engagement could be implemented across the league. The Connecticut Sun are already experimenting with similar approaches, and the Seattle Storm are developing programs specifically designed to build a kind of committed community that's emerging in Indiana. This blueprint isn't exclusive to just Indiana. The sustained support raises a significant question. Can this fan power transform the entire landscape of women's basketball as we know it? The real question isn't whether Caitlin Clark's popularity is too much, it's how the rest of the WNBA plans to respond. Will other franchises step up their game, build their loyal fan bases, and rise to meet the occasion? And rise to meet the moment? Or will they keep fighting the one player who's finally putting the league on the map? Are we witnessing the growth of women's basketball into something powerful and lasting? Or are we watching it become a game of likes, retweets, and headlines instead of hard work and performance? Should a player's fan base have more weight than their stats? Or is this just how sports work now, where presence off the court is just as important as dominance on it? You tell me. Is Angel Reese right to feel the pressure, or is Caitlin Clark simply cashing in on everything she's earned fair and square? One thing's clear though, the WNBA won't be the same again. Whether you love it or hate it, the game has changed forever, and that's straight up facts, no cap. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notifications button so you never miss a story that shakes the league. We've got more heat coming your way. And speaking of shakeups, wait until you hear what's going on with Hailey Van Lith. After doing everything to avoid teaming up with Angel Reese, she's now being forced to join her in Chicago, and trust me, Hailey's reaction says it all. Let's get into it.